Hi class, how are you? It's Professor Vargas. I just wanted to take a few minutes and go over the news article assignment with you. What you will be doing is finding an article that addresses like a current topic or an event that impacts children and families. So you're just going to find an article, whether it be from, Los Angeles Times article. It could be from Orange County Register, all different types of newspapers, magazines, scholarly journals. So what I want you to do first is, what you're going to do is you can download the assignment first if you'd like, and then when you push the arrow, it'll download the assignment for you, okay? So what I want you to do is, you're going to find a news article in the Rio Hondo Library. So all you're going to do is click on the Rio Hondo Library, and from the library, you are going to follow these directions. Log in with your Rio Hondo username and password. Then you're going to click on Articles and Database. Then you can click, you'll see the alphabet. You can click on either an E or a P. And these are the two, personally, I feel are the two best to pull some articles from, especially like recent articles. And then you're going to do in the advanced search, you're going to put impacts children into that search engine. Click publication date. You can do the last 12 months, so whatever that is, from last year to now. And then select source type. So newspaper is pretty easy to understand. The articles, you can do a book, scholarly journal, or magazine. I would say pretty easy as a news article or a magazine. So you can select the type, and then you click the search button. So once you do that, it'll generate the article for you and start going through the articles like, hey, this one looks pretty interesting. I might want to do a little, news article assignment on that thing that I'm interested about. So you're going to, once you find your article, download that article into a PDF, because you're going to actually attach that on Canvas. And then you're also going to attach the assignment on Canvas. Okay? So once you get your article, that's half the battle. Then you're going to see the directions, and I'm pulling this up for you, the directions on how to do the news article. So you're going to have the headline or title of your article. So the article information, the title, the author, the date of the article, the reference source. So identify where you got it from, Los Angeles Times, New York Times, or whatever. Then this is how I want you to write your paper, just like this. Roman numeral 1, summary of the article, and you are going to do the summary. And that's usually 2 to 3 paragraphs. Then the next section, I want you to do Roman numeral 2, identify each community agency. So within that, within your article, they usually talk about like maybe a school, a community, church, something within a community that maybe the article mentions. And you can talk about what community agency. It could be anything. The school is a community agency, and tell me their primary function. So let's say you did an article about drug abuse and maybe somebody overcoming that, and then it mentions maybe some preventative community agencies, then you're going to tell me about that in 2 paragraphs. Okay? So read all of this, and then you're going to talk about the ecological systems theory. So what that means is in your book, it talks about on page 21 to 32, what is a microsystem, the mesosystem, exosystem, macrosystem, and chronosystem. So the microsystem would be the child and who affects the child. So there's 5 different entities that affect the child. So for example, the family, school, media, peers. So all of these affect the child growing up. So please be sure to read the textbook about all these different areas, because in your article, you're going to identify, in the article, describe the interactive relationship between these systems. Okay? So how does it relate to the child and family? Next, how the issue affects children and families. Describe how changing educational, political, social, economic, or cultural factors described in the article impacts children and families. So just in a short, immediate 6 months, how does this impact the family or children? And then for the long term, how does it affect families? So whatever your article's talking about, you're going to see what are the short implications of the article, who does it affect, versus the long implications of the article. So hopefully you'll understand how to do it when you start reading kind of part of the book. And then again, here's the rubric. So you do want to identify each community's agency in your article that's mentioned. If none are mentioned and you don't see any, then you may pick a community agency that would maybe you would bring up about your article that you're working on. Okay, so for example, if you were doing like the impacts of divorce on the family and they didn't mention any community agency or anything in the article, I would probably identify something that would help children going through maybe a divorce. So what would that be? Maybe, seeing a therapist, and in the community you would pick out online that type of community service agency. And again, you're going to identify the ecological systems in relationship to the child and family, okay? And then how the issues affect the child and family. And here's a template for you, because that's how I would like it written out. Your name, the class, title of your paper that you found, the author of the article, and then where you got it from. And then here we go, summary of the article, identify each community service agency. The ecological system again is on the pages I told you before, and you're going to identify each one, and if it plays a part in the family, how does it affect the family in your article or the child? And then last, how the issues affect children and family, like right now and then long term. Okay, I hope that helps, and I will talk to you later. Thank you.